Excuse the pun, viewers, but I want to open this up and I want to begin first with the Bharatiya Janata Party's national spokesperson, Shehzad Poonawalla. Mr. Poonawalla, it's a massive claim to make. It's a massive claim to suggest that it was not Apple that actually sent these notifications, but it was, in fact, a Soros-funded NGO that did so. It changes the entire complexion of this story. How are you justifying this particular claim?
Rahul, you know, usually cricket fans like us, we used to remember that first 5 days test match used to be played, then it was 1 day, now it has become T20. Similarly, Congress's allegations have come into the realm of becoming a T20. That means Rahul Gandhi did a press conference after breakfast, and before lunch, Apple came out with a clarification, and now they can't take two stands. Either you believe Apple and you believe its notification, or you don't believe Apple, then you don't believe its clarification. You can't have it both ways. Apple clarified that there was no specific state sponsor, and you would know, Rahul, that these people who are compulsive critics were immediately blaming Modi government, including Pawan Kheda and others. Now I have a question. Isn't Apple having a long-standing feud with FBI? Isn't the Chinese also very happy to target American companies like Apple? But why was India targeted immediately just because you have Modi hatred? Secondly, even though it was said that state specific is not there and the state sponsorship could mean many other things, and that these alarms sometimes could be false alarms, fake alarms, despite all these clarifications and the fact that it went to 150 countries, people in 150 countries, the Congress continued with its allegations. And this is the same Congress which during the Pegasus saga did not give the phone of Rahul Gandhi. Priyanka Vadra had said that my children's Instagram account is hacked. CERT kept asking her for details. She did not give it. So anyways, the link that now emerges after some people have done research is that Access Now, which has been said to be the tech support of Apple as per that message, has not only got one link with Soros. Let me make another disclosure. One of the other funders of this Access Now, if you see the page 2 of the funding sheet of Access Now, is a organization called Omidyar. And Omidyar in India, and I'm refraining from taking the name, I will leave it to your journalists to go and find out more. Omidyar in India is run by a person who's extremely close to the Congress's media department head. And therefore today there's not one link, Rahul. I am in fact giving you an update that there are two links which make it very clear that despite Apple coming out with the clarification, Congress continued to back this kind of half-baked allegations that it was making. Now here is the point. The Congress party has no locus standi to even speak on this, given its own track record. It wanted to bring the post office bill, you remember, which was given a pocket veto by Gyani Zail Singh. It bugged Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's room. It was behind the bugging of 9,000 emails and 500 phones on a monthly basis. This was said in an RTI. On the other hand, who else is making this allegation? Mahua Moitra, who herself parceled her login password and security to a person living in foreign soil, having a direct conflict of interest against the person whom she was asking questions. The third entity making these claims is Sitaram Yechury. Now Sitaram Yechury's love for fighting American imperialism stopped short because he was using an Apple phone to fight American imperialism. But on a more serious note, we know the links between the left parties and how they are very soft towards agendas of other countries, particularly China. So all of this seems to be a larger conspiracy to tarnish India, and I'll just sum up by saying one thing. 150 country users were targeted. Did you hear from any of the 149 countries that they immediately blamed their government? An Armenian journalist was also targeted, apparently, by this threat notification. Did he say that my government is responsible? Why was this such a hastiness being shown? It is because it has a George Soros link, and whenever George Soros is involved, you remember the Adani affair, you have quoted the statement. George Soros' statement of demanding intervention into India's affairs was celebrated by Praveen Chakravarti, who is a key aide of Rahul Gandhi. Okay. Rahul Gandhi was seen walking with Salil Shetty of the Open Foundation in Bharat Jodo Yatra. In America, he had an undisclosed meeting with Sunita Vishwanath. The pictures came out later. Sunita Vishwanath is also the one, I hope I'm not spelling the name wrong. She is the one who has funding from George Soros. So these are the linkages that on the ishara of George Soros, all of these things are done time and again, whether it's the Adani saga, whether it is this, or whether it is many other agendas that are taken up to target India. And therefore, this is not a Sahyog, this is a Socha Samjha.
Okay,
Prayog
so let me ask
Udyog.
you one follow-up question, Mr. Poonawalla. Shehzad Poonawalla, that is. It's a very specific question.
Yes.
If this link is so apparent and it came out in the follow-up notification that Apple issued, why does the BJP have to pick up the work of some random person on Twitter rather than having pointed it out yesterday? Why hasn't the government pointed this out yesterday? Because in the statement of Mr. Vaishnav, I did not see any references to such as this. Could you please explain?
That's because Mr. Shivshankar, when Mr. Vaishnav makes a statement, since he's a minister in the government of India, a minister's job is to not interfere in any kind of investigation process or to prejudice it in any way, even though he may have many more information than any of us sitting here. And therefore, like a good minister would do as an objective person, he said that we have got the reply of Apple. It is not specific, it is vague. We are calling for an investigation and inquiry. We take this matter very seriously, and he left it at that. But today, Amit Malviya, the BJP is entirely at its right to point out these linkages which have been put out by researchers. And by the way, there are two entities
but why
that
researchers?
have to clarify now. One,
no,
Apple,
one second. I just want to get narrow focus on this, because yesterday he did make some political statements, Mr. Vaishnav. I do realize that he is a minister, but he did make a political statement. He did say that, oh, you know, these are these usual suspects, this, that, the other. What do you expect? They're habitual. Yes. They're habituated. I mean, that is also prejudging the issue.
No. Talking about Congress's charitra, which is of being a compulsive critic, is stating a fact. But as far as the investigation into this affair is concerned, on that the minister rightly has said that we have asked for an investigation to be done. It will be done, the results will be out. But why shouldn't we rely on somebody who has done the research, gone into it and seen? Now two people should clarify if the research is wrong. A, Access Now should, Apple should clarify whether Access Now is their tech support or not. And B, Rahul Gandhi should tell us that was it at the prompting of George Soros that despite Apple's clarification,
why shouldn't Apple be summoned?
Is very important.
Why shouldn't Apple be summoned before the committee, parliamentary panel? As of now, there was a news break that came out. There was a news break that came out on ANI viewers. Let me just draw your attention to it. And that news break suggested that people from Apple were going to be summoned by the panel, but then when we spoke to the head of the panel, when CNN News18 spoke to the head of the panel, they said no such step has been taken. I find that very odd, viewers. Not that I'm trying to suggest that one side is lying
Rahul,
or misrepresenting. But one would expect Apple to clarify if they actually have outsourced this very important work to this group called Access Now. Yes. Yes, Mr. Poonawalla. Shehzad Poonawalla. Yes.
Rahul, since I was on another channel and I have not seen that specific news break, I can just tell you that when a committee starts its work, it is not going to give running commentary as to whom it will summon or it will not summon.
Okay.
At the time when it calls somebody to give an answer before it, that will be in the public domain. But to prejudge and to start telling who will be summoned, not summoned, I think that will constrict the work of the committee. So it should be allowed to do its job as per its legal mandate.